Genesis chapter 3, verse 21. Ke epoiesen kyrios hatheos to Adam kai te gunaiki autu, chitonas dermatinus, ke inedusen autus. We'll begin with this verb here, epoiesen, so it's from poieo and a little third singular, aorist active indicative. We've seen that numerous times in our study of Genesis. The subject here is kyrios hatheos, which reminds us of this covenantal relational name, the Lord God. So, and the Lord God made, and he made to Adam, nice dative of indirect object. So for Adam and for his wife, te gunaiki autu. What did God make for them? Chitonas, that's the accusative plural of chiton. And this is typically something like a tunic, and that is the garment that is worn closest to the skin. Perhaps if you have an outer garment, that would be over top of that. And the underlying Hebrew is katnot, and there actually is, those sound similar, chiton and katnot. Looked into this, and actually chiton appears to be derived from the Semitic root that here is reflected in Hebrew as katnot. And so there is some sort of etymological or derivational relationship there between the Greek form and an earlier Semitic form. So I didn't know that before I looked into it, so go figure. So he made for them tunics, and what kind of tunics? They are dermatinus, that's from dermatinas. This is in a reference to an animal skin, some sort of skin of an animal, and he turns that into a tunic. So he made for them skin tunics or something like that to reflect that adjectival use. And then God inedusens them. This is from induo, and that's a third singular aorist active indicative. Again, this means to clothe. So God clothes them, very tender. Notice they don't put the garments on themselves. He clothes them, which is a reminder that previously in Genesis 3, when they realize that they have sinned and their eyes are open, they realize they're naked, they try to make clothes for themselves from fig leaves to cover up their shame. Now God is the one who is clothing them. This is interesting as well because in Genesis 2:17, God had said, "You will surely die," or "in death you will die," whenever they eat from the tree of the forbidden tree. He doesn't actually strike them dead here, though, and so grace is already entering in the picture even after their catastrophic sin. Instead of striking them dead immediately, he actually tenderly clothes them with more sturdy garments, if you will. And many will further argue that something had to happen for there to be animal skins. God had made all these animals, but we're only on, some day soon thereafter, day 6. And so something had to happen for those animals to produce skin that could be turned into a chiton. And so a lot of commentators of Genesis will argue that there's a substitutionary death. In other words, an animal had to die to produce the animal skin that could be used to clothe Adam and Eve. And so many will take that as an indication that when God clothes them with a animal skin, there has been a substitutionary death as opposed to the death of Adam and Eve themselves. And so quite an interesting possibility there, indicating the grace of God forestalling the death and tenderly clothing his fallen man and woman.